Hello everyone, Brick Dark here. Today I'm reviewing the LEGO Marvel Avengers Truck Takedown Set, which has 4 minifigures, 477 pieces, retailed in the United States for $40. Starting off, we have one of 2 exclusive minifigures to this set, being the Captain America. This is based off of his suit in the Square Enix game, and even though that game wasn't very good, it's still nice to get variants, and this is a pretty dang cool version to get. It doesn't have that much red. You can see just about only a few little small lines there, but I really do like how this looks. It's more combat based and more tactical. He also, for the time, had a new shield and new face print. I don't actually know, the shield wasn't new, they introduced this back in 2019, but he did have a new face, because when they introduced this piece back in 2019 with the Endgame wave, they previously had his face on a dark blue head, and it just didn't look very good because the flesh tone was so faded. And so you can see one side has the strap, and then the other side has an open smiling face, which doesn't look the best with the helmet on, but they do include a little hairpiece, which is nothing particularly new, and I'll just spin his head around now so you can see what that looks like. And yeah, that's a pretty cool look. Definitely my favorite figure in this set, and I'm very glad to finally own him. Next, we have the other exclusive figure, being the Hawkeye, and funny enough, this is the first Hawkeye figure I've gotten since the first one way back in 2012, so this is the first Hawkeye I have gotten in a literal decade, which I find pretty wild. This is a personal favorite of mine. This is probably the best way to do his purple outfit without making it look goofy. I do hope we get that original full purple outfit at some point. He does have the standard bow and arrow. Sometimes they give him the compound bow. And then he also does come with a quiver. Just going to turn the flashlight off so I can take off the quiver so you can see the back torso printing, which has a little bit more of that purple design, which is pretty cool. His face is also pretty nice with the purple goggles, anger expression on one side, and a very smug expression on the other side. Another very nice figure, and another cool variant to add to the collection. Finally, the set includes 2 AIM agents who are identical, but one of them just has a bit more stuff on him. These are not uncommon figures at all. They come in most of the 2020 Marvel sets, and they're good for army building, but you do get a lot of them. They do have this little gray breathing tube, which you can see hides a bit of face printing under there. And I do like the unique flame yellowish orange and gunmetal gray color scheme, but these guys do come in a lot of sets, so they really are nothing special. Here is the other AIM agent included. He just has a more extravagant blaster, which uses some of those power blast pieces, as well as a little jetpack design, which uses some more of the power blast pieces. Those are just attached via some of the Among Us pieces. You can just adjust it as you'd like, and that's just attached to his neck via the clear 1x2 neck attachment. But yeah, that's it for the figures of the set. Let's take a look at the builds. We have 2 builds in this set, the truck and the AIM trike. Let's take a look at the truck first. When this set got revealed way back in late 2019, I thought it was incredibly stupid. But as times have changed, I think this is actually a pretty solid build. There's definitely some parts that aren't as good as I would like them to be, but still, it's a pretty solid build, even if it does look a little bit chunky. So, start off, you do have these big power blasts on the side. If you don't want them, you can easily remove them. Then, looking at some details, you do have a sticker on the front, the license plate, 2 stickers on the side, and then 2 other stickers, as well as a sticker up top on this crossbow mechanism where you can have Hawkeye sit down and shoot at the AIM agents. I guess not Hawkeye because of his quiver, so let's just put Captain America up there for demonstration purposes. But yeah, you can have him up there and have him hold on to the handlebar pretty easily. And there's a couple of features with this set. So first off, pressing this lever at the back will explode open the truck, which is pretty cool. And then what you can do then is push the crossbow in and then store up the truck like this, and it looks pretty normal like this. One thing I'm not a huge fan of is this massive gap they have up here. I thought they might have covered that up a little better, but they didn't. Bit of a shame. But you also have a place up in the front where you could place a figure, so let's just place Hawkeye in there. And just like that, you have both of the good guys in the truck. We'll just push this open so you can see they also have a little blaster, as well as on the other side a walkie-talkie. Now, the other main feature of this set is, I'm sure you've noticed, the 6-stud shooter on top of the crossbow. So, if you're unfamiliar with how these work, they're not super common. You just twist this, and it fires out all of the studs. This is loosely attached, though, so it does fall off pretty easily, which isn't the best. If I can actually even get it to reattach, there we go. So that's a bit unfortunate, but another feature, I guess, they show it on the box, but you can have this twist out and hold onto the things that are held inside. Don't really like how that looks. I prefer if it just stays like this, but that is an option you can do. Reattaching the power blasts here, so you can get the whole experience of what this looks like. Yeah, it's a pretty solid build. It rolls very easily. You do have some lights at the back and some final touches, but I'm pretty happy with this build. I do kind of wish that was a bit more sturdy, but I'm a lot happier with this build than I thought it would be. But that's not the only thing you get. You also get the aim trike. Now, unlike the truck, I do think this vehicle still looks absolutely ridiculous with the really large wheel at the front. It does roll very easily, which is nice. But there is actually two parts to this. You do have this little drone, which detaches. It's not attached very strongly, so you can remove it. It does use some interesting parts, like the Overwatch gun piece in black, as well as the lantern base. There's a sticker up front, as well as 2 stud shooters, which if you don't know how those work, you just push down on that. Shoots out the stud. Pretty simple. I like the color scheme with the flame yellowish orange, I believe the name is. But what you can also do, there is also a little stud shooter at the back, so you can give this guy a weapon to fight against the Avengers. But what you can do, there's also some stickers on the side. Anyways, but what you can actually do, finally, instead of getting sidetracked, you can place your figure down in there. He rolls pretty simply, and if we attach the drone up top, it looks much more complete. And yeah, it's a not great vehicle, and it is pretty silly, but it's not the main build of the set, which I'm pretty glad about. Anyways, that's it for the build of the set. Let's take a look at the box and the instructions. The box for this is that thicker $40 box design, where it has the Lego Avengers on the side and then the more realistic interpretation on the other side, which is interesting because usually it's the other way around. You have the realistic version on the front and then the Lego one on the side or the back. Also, that is the Avengers outfit for Iron Man, I believe, but they do have the MCU helmet, whereas the figure in the sets doesn't. On the back, you can see just some of the other features shown off, as well as that generic Avengers logo. Gotta say, not a huge fan of this box design, but at least it's better than the 2019 boxes. I did not like those. 2 instruction booklets. The first one doesn't have any ads at the end, and then the second one at the very back has an ad for some of the other January sets. I own the Iron Man mech, and I wouldn't mind getting these 2 sets. that one probably just for the figures, because I think the build on that one is still pretty bad. And then the Thanos mech just because it's pretty funny. But that's it for the instructions. So this is a pretty surprising set. When it got revealed, I thought it was terrible, and it was about the same level as the Spider-Man vehicles we get every year. But I've definitely come round on it. Even when I decided to buy it, even then I felt I was only going to buy it just for the Captain America and the Hawkeye. But actually, this is a really solid set. Is it the best looking vehicles? No. Is it a really fun feature to play around with, exploding the truck? Yes. And the figures, yes, the AIM agents are repetitive, but they're good army builders. It's not like getting multiple of a named character. The two exclusive figures are excellent. It's not a must-buy Marvel set, but it's definitely a lot better than I thought it was at first. So, with all that said, I'd give this set a 7.5 out of 10. Again, not the greatest Marvel set ever, and the truck and the trike especially aren't lookers, and they're not the best looking Marvel things, but still, this is a really good set, and if you can find it somehow still available, and you want those figures, I'd say go for it. And you won't be disappointed with what you're getting. Anyways, that's it for this video. See you guys later. Peace.